Whether you live in a colder climate or a warm one, spring comes once a year, and with it comes the thought of new growth and planting. I'm Karen Spiegelberg, and this is my guest, Tracy Hankwitz, who also happens to be one of our guest devotional writers for Word for Women. And she's going to talk a little bit today about planting spring seedlings and planting seeds of faith. Welcome to A Word for Women, a show by women and for women, where we build each other up in our amazing and wonderful God-given roles in life. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you, Karen.
I'm excited to hear about gardening today because I assure you, without your demonstration, I'd be running out to buy a book probably called Gardening for Dummies.
Oh, well, you know, gardening is enjoyable for many of us women. For some, it's therapeutic, and for others, it's a fun hobby. It's becoming essential as more and more families are growing their own food. And you can buy vegetable plants at the garden centers, but it's definitely more economical and more fun to start your vegetables from seed. I'm going to show you some very simple tips to remember when planting from seed.
Okay.
Today I'm going to show you how to start parsley from seed. Parsley is an herb that we use in our cooking, and so it's great to have some in our kitchens, especially in March. The important thing about starting parsley from seed is we need to soak the seed overnight, about 24 hours actually, to help it germinate faster.
And what would happen if you didn't soak it?
It would just take a very long time.
Okay,
And you would
so
get frustrated and give up.
So this is one of the tricks of the trade.
Right,
Okay.
that's a good tip. Okay. Also, read your seed packets. There's a lot of important information on the back that will be very helpful. Okay, so now we need to decide what to plant our seeds in. And there's a lot of options, but I really like to use peat pots. Peat pots are great because I can plant directly into the pot the seeds, and when it's time to put it out in the garden, I can put this whole thing right in the ground. So that is a good thing.
All right.
Okay, so I've filled my peat pot with some potting soil. Actually, a good quality seed starting soil is what you want to look for.
So it's worth putting a little bit of extra money into a good soil.
Yes,
Right.
definitely. I've also watered my soil before I put the seed in. That's another good tip. Okay, so now I'm going to plant some of my seeds, and I don't need very many. Just a few to scatter around. And I'm going to cover it with some more potting soil like this. And now we water it some more. And another good tip is to just use a spray bottle because it has a real gentle stream of water. Okay, now we want to create a little greenhouse for our seeds. I'm going to just use a plastic bag like this and tie it up. And I'm going to put it in a warm spot and keep it watered. That's what it really needs right now, is warmth and water. Now some kits come with their own little plastic dome. So this is a nice little kit. It comes with these little peat pellets that have been expanded with water, and you just put seed right in the holes. And cover it, put it in a warm spot.
So this is maybe a little bit easier for a beginner like me.
Absolutely, and fun to do with the kids.
Okay.
Kids really get into that. Okay, so I'm going to water this, check it every day, and when you start to see those green sprouts shooting up, that's when it's time to take off the plastic and put it in a sunny window. And before long, you'll have a nice, healthy plant like this to use in your cooking.
Yeah, well, maybe you will, but I might not. But.
Well, all of this gardening talk, Karen, reminds me of how God tends to the garden in our hearts. There are many gardening pictures in the Bible. My favorite one shows how important water is to a plant. In Psalm chapter 1, verse 3, he says, "Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yield its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither." Well, God is our master gardener, and somewhere in the course of our life, He has used someone to plant the seed of faith in our heart. Maybe it was our parents or maybe a friend. He used water and his holy word to baptize us, and that seed of faith sprouted. And he continues to cultivate our faith, making it grow every time we hear his word, in church, in a devotion, in a song that we sing. Every time we open that Bible and read his life-giving word, he is watering us, making our roots grow stronger. And that is what will sustain us when we go through those dark times in our lives. As our faith matures, then God uses us to plant the seed of faith in someone else's heart. How does he do that? How do we do that? Through conversations, through the things we say and the things that we do. We plant seeds of kindness, seeds of love, seeds of goodness, and seeds of joy. And then God does the rest. He tends that heart and he causes that seed of faith to grow.
Thank you for that beautiful message.
Sure.
Appreciate that. And thank you for this wonderful demonstration. I think I've actually learned something about gardening today when in the past my two favorite words were evergreen and perennial. That's about as far as it went for me. But more importantly, thank you so much for your message about planting seeds of faith in people through the help of the Holy Spirit for everyone around us to hear. And thank you for joining us on A Word for Women. Tracy?